So there are about 4 or 5 general kind of champion types in Raid Shadow Legends, at least without getting too granular about it, right, and focusing on the early game. So in this video, we're going to be covering how to build out each champion type, what kind of stats you should be prioritizing on each champion type, so that you can build the perfect roster yourself on your own account and build everybody out correctly. So what is up, guys? This is Cobb, and welcome to, oh my god, the Game Leap upgrade pack actually just coincidentally popped up on screen just now, so we're going to go ahead and talk about this in just a second as well. But welcome to Mr. Pumba's account. This gentleman is just 30 days in to his Raid Shadow Legends journey, and I gotta tell you, he's off to an incredible start. It's going great. There are some champion builds here that I'm going to be tweaking up just a little bit. We actually quad-rolled into attack percent here on our Ugo's weapon. Stuff like this is not really ideal to have on Ugo exactly, but while I am going to be rebuilding some champs on this account, it is so early game that I'm not really going to have that much impact, right, by rebuilding a bunch of guys. There's just not that much gear of high quality lying around on the account. But what I can do is talk about how to build out each champion type and what stats to prioritize on each champion type so that you can do the same. I gotta say, Mr. Pumba, you are a student of the game. Look at this, man. The kill is fully bucked up. His crit rate is pretty good. It's not quite at the crit cap for kill, but looking pretty decent, man. The Sun Wukong also built out with a reasonable amount of accuracy for where we are in the game. Also looking at 100% crit rate. The builds are just looking pretty good, man. Maxed out speed boots wherever you've been able to fit them in. It's looking grand. We've also got a Ray on this account as well. This is one of those attack champs that's just got an attack all enemies on every single skill. I would deeply consider maxing up this Ray next and just getting hair built out as your campaign farmer instead, Mr. Pumba, because, oh my god, like, she'd be a very fast campaign farmer, and to get it set up so early, and she's going to be amazing for progression in Spider as well. Like, again, every attack's an attack all enemies. She's going to be great into, I don't know, a crap load of content on this account. I see we've also got the Allure sitting around as well. She's going to be amazing for us into Fire Knight progression. So, dude, Fire Knight and Spider, Dude, we're off to an incredible start on this account. Those are two very problematic dungeons for early game players. People tend to get stuck on like stage 9 and stuff, you know. It's very tough to progress in like the early months of your account in those dungeons. We got those dungeons covered with these champions, man. We've also got the Fane and the Ugo online, which I can only assume is from the beginner promo link. Fane, obviously an absolutely deadly clan boss champion, bringing 4 of the key debuffs that you want, as well as some poison damage into clan boss as well. Just an incredible champion. And you can start off your own account with Fane and 3 other epic champions simply by creating a new account using my beginner promo link, which is down below. Starting a new account with my link is simply the best way to get involved in this series as well. You get yourself a priority pass, man, to have your account reviewed and taken over and hopefully improved a little bit. So if you're looking to get involved in this series, then that is the link to click. Simply hit that link, use it to download Raid, create a new account, and you're good to go, man. Best possible way to get a good clean start on your account, man. Okay, so let's talk about some champion builds. I guess we'll go ahead and start off with the Nukas. So first of all, there are 2 ground rules that you're going to bear in mind when building any champion in Raid, and if you screw these up, the build is going to suck, I guarantee it. Okay, so first of all, you got to check what champion type you're actually working with. Kale is, of course, an attack-based champion, as we can see all up and over here, and if we click on his skills, you will also see that his damage from his skills is always going to be based on his attack, meaning that they scale up with his attack stat. Simple enough, right? But if you skip on down to a champion like Broodlord, for example, this is a defense-based champion. Even his attacking skills, right, his damaging skills, the damage is based on defense, meaning that any attack stats on Broodlord's gear might as well not exist as a stat at all. They are doing literally nothing for Broodlord. And so that's the first thing. The next thing to bear in mind is how accuracy functions in Raid Shadow Legends. Some people will know this already, but if you have any skill that deals any kind of effect to the enemy that is not damage, right? So any kind of effect like poison debuffs or 10-meter decrease or stealing enemy buffs or anything like that, that is going to require accuracy in order to affect your opponent. And how much accuracy do you need? The easiest way to tell is to just see what stage of dungeon you're currently up to and you're currently clearing with a certain champ, and just add a 0 to the end of that stage, right? So for stage 7 dragon, you need roughly 70 accuracy on your champions to be able to land their debuffs and their skills. If you're going to go all the way down to stage 20, which is like the ultimate kind of early to mid game goal on your account, you're going to need 200 accuracy across your champions to be landing their debuffs. And based on where we are on this account right now, it looks like about 130-ish accuracy should be what we are looking to gun for on any of our champions that require accuracy. So step priorities for a damage dealer like Kale. This is a damage dealer or a nuker style champion that is also requiring accuracy, right? So step priority number 1 is going to be accuracy, because frankly Kale is like half a champion without, you know, meeting his accuracy requirements. Then you're looking for 100% crit rate, then crit damage, then attack percentage, and then speed, right? Kale can afford to be the slowest champion on your team because, like most damage dealers, you want your damage dealers to move last in your team. You don't want them to be glacially slow or anything. In the early game, anything between like 160 and like 175 speed is like a good kind of ballpark figure to aim for. If they're any faster than that, you're probably prioritizing speed a little bit too much, and you could pull some stats out of speed and put them into attack percent and crit damage and stuff like that. But most importantly, you want your nukers and your damage dealers to be attacking in after your buffers and your debuffers have, you know, used all of their skills and debuffed the enemy and maybe put some increased attack buffs and stuff on your nukers and stuff like that. You want your nukers to be attacking in last. And so with those things in mind, we will go ahead and just tweak the Kale's build a little bit just now. He's fine in terms of speed. He does have some speed boosts here that are 5-star that could be rolled up to rank 16, to be honest, and that would be totally fine for how early game this account is. The sub-stats kind of suck, and we'll get to what stats to look for on what gear types before the end of the video, so don't worry about that. But as far as the Kale's build goes, at least he's got the crit rate gauntlets, which is helping to push him up to a bit closer towards 100%. Another thing to bear in mind on Kale is that he does have a bonus 15% chance of inflicting a crit on his A2, so you can just build out the Kale with 85% crit rate on his gear, and you can be totally fine with just that. But what I am going to do right off the get-go is go ahead and steal this gear that's rolled up pretty goddamn nicely, to be honest, from the Ugo, because yeah, this is just going to boost up our attack stats by really quite a bit. It's also going to bolster our crit rate by quite a bit as well. And then in the name of retaining the lifesteal set bonus, I think I'm going to go ahead and see if we can roll up this little accuracy piece here. If we can hit accuracy a couple of times with this, that would be absolutely ideal. Yeah, don't explain again. Let's go, let's go. We do hit accuracy one time. A double roll would be great. Ooh, we're going to defense. Okay. I mean, it's still fine. It's still fine. We lose a little bit of crit damage here by doing this, but the extra 20 accuracy, I feel, is going to be pretty imperative on this kill for now, until we can get accuracy from other sources like our accessories. And speaking of accessories, I can't help but notice that we've got ourselves a little white, just common HP amulet here. And it just happens that we're sitting on an attack amulet as well, which probably isn't worth upgrading anything beyond like a rank 8, but we'll go ahead and throw a couple ranks into this. If we can just hit more accuracy here, that would be amazing. There it is. We also got a daily quest done as well. Yeah, it's just a little bit more attack, bit more accuracy, just the stats that we are looking for, so we'll go ahead and slam this on. Okay, and this is the final result. No, it's not. This is the final result, because it actually just unequipped all of the stuff that we just put on him. So let me go ahead and slam on the lifesteal headgear once again as well. This is actually the final result. Okay, the stats are just looking improved across the board, man. Bit more defense, a lot more attack, little bit slower in terms of speed, but again, we should just roll these boots up when we get the chance. Crit damage takes a little bit of a hit, but we do gain a whole bunch of accuracy as well. And yeah, good stuff. I think that this is an easy improvement for the kill. I'm not sure that the chest piece is all that great either. Let's give an accuracy crit rate. The chest piece can stay, I guess. It's doing enough work for us. So next champion type on the list that we're going to be covering is going to be the buffers, right? The champs who don't require any accuracy at all, okay? And so they're just focusing on usually just being as fast as humanly possible, to be honest, and then having some defensive stats so they don't just keel over and die a horrible, painful death. Apothecary is one of those champs. He brings a little bit of healing on his A2, triple hit to A1, and then most importantly, the increased speed and 10-meter fill buffer skill on his A3, which is notoriously just a fantastic opener skill. And so to keep this buff up, constantly and be getting that 10 meter fill as much as we possibly can. Apothecary is one of those buffer or supporter style champs that we just want to be as fast as humanly possible. So checking through his build right now, it seems like Mr. Pumba has done a pretty good job at prioritizing speed rolls on his gear, which is great. Double speed roll all open over here, but this is something that you don't want to be doing in the early game. You'll notice here that we got this shield going with a double speed roll. Fantastic. This is a great shield to have on Apothecary purely for the speed. The accuracy, remember what we said about like resistance on the likes of Kale? Useless stat, doesn't do anything. Or like attack on the Broodlord or whatever it was, that other defense champ, does nothing. Accuracy does absolutely nothing on the Apothecary, okay? It's a completely dead stat. This shield literally just gives a bit of defense and speed. The accuracy doesn't even count as a stat on this Apothecary. He has no use for it. And so while this shield is pretty good, it's double rolled into speed, which is nice. What we've done here is we're just trying to kind of shoehorn in a retaliation set because, well, we might as well just hit the 2-set bonus, right? On the artifact here. Whereas really, like, the flat defense roll is basically useless. You're always looking for percentage stat rolls on your artifacts. So this helmet is basically just giving 9% HP, and that's it. We can probably find a helmet somewhere in this artifact storage with just more speed rolls, and it would almost definitely be better than this retaliation set. We should be looking for, like, north of 200 speed on this Apothecary. Now, these boots actually don't mind too much as having these boots on, just because they're 5-star speed boots. That's it. The rest of the substats don't even really matter that much. Double accuracy roll sucks, but we'll go ahead and leave that as it is. So before we go ahead and do a little bit of rebuilding on the Apothecary, what kind of stats are we looking for on these buffer style champions? Well, we've already established you want these guys to be the fastest champs on your team. And so for me, speed is like the #1 priority stat to have on these buffer champs. Obviously, if this champion required accuracy in any way at all for any of their skills, then accuracy would take the top spot, but in this case, it's just speed. Then you're looking for a mix of HP percentage and defense percentage stats. And honestly, that's kind of it. Champions like Apothecary are a joy to build out because they're so simple, right? Not even any accuracy required. So, let's see if we can get this guy moving a little bit faster, shall we? Ooh. I've also just seen here as well that we're operating with a chest piece that gives accuracy main stats. So even though it gives like a double roll of speed here, this chest piece is basically just giving us 11 speed, and that's it. None of the other stats on this matter at all for Apothecary's role in the team. You can eventually build out an Apothecary with 100% crit rate if you want to, you know. It's not against the law. It will boost his damage by a little bit, but it's definitely not going to be his focus. Not when we are so limited on gear options. Alright, so this is what we've got cooking for the Apothecary, man. Went ahead and removed those pesky crit rate gloves, which, I mean, wasn't doing much damage anyway. Actually replacing them with some 3-star speed gauntlets, because at least they're giving a bit of HP percentage and some speed rolls. Obviously, these can be upgraded, hopefully sooner rather than later. We've also switched in a flat defense chestplate, which was replacing, remember, an accuracy chestplate, which is not great. And so we managed to roll a little bit of speed into this as well, and the flat defense is frankly a lot more useful. It's still garbage, but it's a lot more useful than the accuracy chestplate. I would recommend, Mr. Pumba, if you're watching this video, don't take this chestplate any higher than rank 12. You know, it's a very, very early game, like, beginner friendly, I guess, chestplate, but definitely don't be taking it to rank 16. We also switched in a happy little speed weapon that we managed to get 1 speed roll in, as well as a single speed roll, actually 6-star divine speed helmet, which I don't know where the hell we got that from, but either way, man, we make a gain of about 30 speed. Bit more defensive stats as well, just kind of across the board, which is always nice, and dropping a little bit of that useless accuracy. So yeah, let's go ahead and key in this Apothecary gear. He is now well and primed to be going first on basically all of our teams. I think probably the fastest champion on the account now, which is perfect. Is exactly where he wants to be. So moving on to debuffers, and let's get to Ugo. So stat breakdown for your debuffers is going to be very, very similar, I guess, to your buffers. You want these guys to be extremely fast, to be attacking in before your nukers, right? Especially because the likes of Ugo brings a decreased defense debuff, which is perfect to get up before your kill is going to be attacking in. And so, yeah, have the Ugo be like the fastest champ, or maybe the second fastest champ on the team, and you're going to be great. Now, of course, debuffer, you're going to require, first of all, accuracy, second stat, speed, Then you're going to be looking at just defensive stats, HP percentage, and defense percentage. And then you can start to go into things like crit rate, if you want, as like a final priority stat, just because Ugo does have an attack all enemies skill, so could benefit, theoretically at least, from a little bit of crit rate, but realistically that's like bottom of the barrel stats, and yeah, that is the stat priority that we are looking at for Ugo. So with that in mind, let's build. Okay, so first of all, we actually have some HP percentage speed set boots all up and over here as well. They're giving a little bit of accuracy, but we could switch in these frost boots here. We only lose like 4 accuracy, but we gain 14 speed, and having the Ugo much faster. Like, we've got plenty of HP. I think that the Ugo is well tanky enough, to be honest, to be surviving for the content that we're currently going up against. I think having the increase of speed is going to be a huge deal on this account. And now it's going to go ahead and search for weapon, shield, ideally that are both giving speed as well. In fact, I think that if we go all the way on down to the perception gear at the bottom, down here, we have a couple of perception pieces that we could just toss on right here, just like so. This one's also giving accuracy speed. They're only rank 4, but this is going to boost our speed to a pretty healthy 175. Not as fast as the apothecary, of course. We can work on that. But still, the accuracy looking very good. This is going to last us all the way up to like stage 16, stage 17 across all of the dungeons. Yeah. Could be pretty great. I think I'm quite happy with this Ugo rebuild. We actually gain a little bit of defense as well, so losing a bit of HP honestly doesn't matter that much. I think that this is a great little rebuild for the Ugo. I'm being very careful about rolling items up, by the way. Very limited amount of silver on this account, and I don't want to roll anything up to like 12 or 16 if I can avoid it. I'm going to leave that for Mr. Pumba to do when a artifact enhancement event comes by. So the next champion type we're going to be covering are going to be your provokers and ally protectors. These guys are going to be taking quite a lot of smacks to the face. However, they're still going to need accuracy in order to land their provokes, debuffs, that kind of thing, right? And especially a lot of survivability, because with an ally protection buff active, they're soaking up a lot of damage that would otherwise be hitting your other champions. They're going to be taking all that damage instead, and so they're going to be kind of extra tanky. And so the stat priority is going to look as follows, right? If it's a provoker style champ, they're going to need accuracy, again, #1 priority stat to make sure they're hitting those accuracy checks and landing those all-important debuffs. Then they're going to be looking at speed. They still want to be pretty goddamn fast. They don't have to be the fastest champion on the team, usually, but they still want to be pretty goddamn quick so that they act before your opponents can act. So very similar to debuffers in that way. Then they're going to be focusing on HP percentage, defense percentage, similar stuff. And I think the real difference with this kind of champion, like we're losing Broodlord here as an example, because, you know, he's like the only ally protect champ that we've got on this account. The difference with these kind of champs is you want to kind of stuff as much self-healing and sustainability into what sets you're equipping on these guys as possible. The Immortal set is pretty good, increased HP and heals for every turn. You might also just want to look at, in the early game, honestly, the Resilience set can be pretty damn good on champions like this, just health, defense stats, just trying to bolster them up as much as possible and prepare them to take some punishment. Frankly, I'm not going to go ahead and gear up this Broodlord right here because it's not the best champ in the world. First of all, not a terrible champ, but not the best champ in the world, and Pumba hasn't started building him out just yet, so I can only assume that maybe we're just not using this guy just yet and have no immediate plans to be using the Broodlord. And the final champion type we're going to be looking at are going to be your healers and, most importantly, your reviver style champions. Now, obviously, some of these champs, like Rector Drath, who we're going to be looking at just now, also does have very important decrease attack debuff, which is fantastic into like early clan boss and stuff like that. And so, lo and behold, any champion that requires accuracy to do their job accuracy is going to be their key stat and like the #1 priority stat. So let's start off with accuracy. Second stat is going to want to be speed, but I wouldn't be too worried about having these champions be quite a bit slower than the 3 champion types that we covered that you want to be going first, right? They don't want to be slower than your Nuka, generally, but just making sure that, like accuracy, your champion has a reasonable amount of speed is going to go a long way. Then, similar to ally protectors with your revivers, HP percentage, defense percentage, and those gear sets like Immortal and maybe even regeneration, you know, those sets that are just going to keep your reviver alive for as long as possible are going to be key, right? Because if your reviver dies, there ain't no one around to pick them up off of the ground, right? Kind of obvious, but hey. Let's see what we've got going for us on the Rector Drath. Ooh, these are defense percentage main boots. Ooh. Yeah, so generally speaking, just any kind of 4 or 5-star speed boots in the early game, if you're in like the first few months of your account, are going to be pretty premium to just have on every single champ that you possibly can. The rolls that we've got going on here, okay, we've got some attack, we've got some HP percentage here, which is great. More HP percentage here. Defense, bit of speed. Not a bad little shield, to be honest, for a 4-star. Very, very good stats here. Speed, HP, defense percent. Basically checks every box we're looking for on the priority. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned about with the Rector is that we have basically no accuracy, and so this A1 is almost never going to land this strong decrease attack debuff, which is so key for Demon Lord Clan Boss, right? Well, to be fair, we also have a Fane on this account, who also has quite low accuracy as well, but the Fane can also land decrease attack debuff as well on the A2, so maybe that's the plan that we're going for here, but I'll continue to just take a look at the Rector for now. That is right after I give the Game Leap upgrade pack the shout out that it deserves, man. Oh my god. Okay, so worked alongside Plarium here to just try and design a pack that's just going to be useful to everybody. It kind of doesn't matter if you're early game, late game, or whatever. This pack might have something that you want and something that you're looking for. Now, I gotta tell you the truth. What's going on with Plarium's regional pricing here, dude? Like, this pack works out a much better deal if you're buying this in the US. It should be $40 if it pops up on your screen. You'll only get access to this Game Leap upgrade pack if you used our promo link, like my beginner promo link, to kickstart your account and to jumpstart your account. It will only show up for you, you know? But yeah, there it is. Go ahead and buy it, man, if you're looking to boost up your account. You know what I'm saying? What's really sad about that is that I actually sent them like a bunch of like PNG images of me striking various poses and trying to look all cool and stuff. And I was like, oh man, they can use that for like the artwork for the pack, man. I had a really cool one, which hopefully we can pop up on screen for you guys just now, where I'm looking like a shady, you know, shard dealer. I really wish that they used that one, man. It was gonna be so funny, man, but they didn't use it. Oh my god, absolutely wasted opportunity. Okay, let me go ahead, man, and tweak this Rector's gear a little bit. Alright, and this is what the rebuild on the Rector Drath is coming out to look like. I'm gonna go ahead and take these boots off the Apothecary. He can go for something that doesn't give accuracy. These actually have a double accuracy roll on them. So I'm gonna pull those off, and we're just gonna switch around the gear a hell of a lot here. Sticking to the HP percentage on all of these. Terrible attack rolls, by the way, on this chest piece, but at least it has some accuracy and some speed. Double accuracy speed on the helmet, double speed as well on the weapon too. So the result is 10 more speed, like 120 more accuracy here, so the Rector can actually do her job now with her A1, and we're not even giving up that much health either. Once these gloves are rolled up to either a 12 or a 16, they're going to do totally fine, and we'll basically be back up to where we were in terms of health, and we actually gained like 200 defense as well. And so the Rector, I'd consider this one a pretty goddamn solid upgrade for the Rector Drath as well. I'll just go ahead and replace the speed boots on the Apothecary real quick, because we do have some lying around that I think we can just toss on. There they are, some speed boots just here. Of course, these can also be taken up to rank 12 to keep that Apothecary. Honestly, these can be taken up to rank 16 on an early game account, and they'll be just fine for the Apothecary. Hey man, now is a pretty good time to mention that if you're looking to get involved in this series, make sure to go ahead and join my Discord server, which is linked down below in the video description box. Just remember that if you choose to submit your account in the Account Takeovers Submissions channel in that Discord server, I will be prioritizing accounts that sign up using my beginner promo link, man. Just so y'alls know. Okay, man, so let's talk a little bit about collecting up gear and what kind of gear you should be focusing on. We have a lot of 2-star gear just lying around on this account. We could probably do with just going into the filters and just taking anything that's like 1 and 2-star and just sell all, maybe even 3-star stuff as well. To be honest, though, we've rolled quite a lot of stats into these as well, so I won't touch those for now. But we talked about stat priorities for each of your champions, but how do you know what gear to look out for each given set, right? What do you keep and what do you sell? This is another really crucial thing that's gonna just help you keep your artifact storage from getting cluttered as hell. And honestly, it's a bit more simple than you might think. All you're trying to do is match the set bonus that you get, for example, for the speed set here, which is plus 12% speed. You're trying to match that set bonus to the stats that pop up on the gear, right? What kind of champions do you want to be wearing is speed set? Well, it's probably going to be your buffers, maybe some of your debuffers as well, and you're just trying to get them to be as fast as humanly possible. Therefore, anything in the speed set that rolls into speed as a substat is going to be incredibly good. Okay, speed is like the key stat you were looking for on your speed set because it matches the set bonus of the set itself. Accuracy is also pretty good for a speed set too, because again, the champions you want to go first in your team, that you want to act the fastest, are going to be your buffers and your debuffers, and so accuracy is going to help out any champion that requires, well, accuracy and speed, which is your bloody debuffers, right? So speed and accuracy are going to be premium on your speed gear. And also things like HP percentage and defense percentage are going to be pretty good as well. And then you can quite simply extrapolate this out to all your other gear sets as well. Crit damage, right? If you're going to get, if you're looking to build a champion up with some extra crit damage percent, you're probably looking for the likes of, do we have any lying around? Crit damage percentage is going to be grit as a substat. Crit rate is also going to be a fantastic substat, and usually attack percentage is going to be pretty good as well. Not absolutely premium, but it's going to be okay to have because most nukers in Raid Shadow Legends are going to be attack based. But generally speaking, crit rate and crit damage for your crit damage set, amazing, right? Accuracy speaks for itself. You know, speed and accuracy rolls are going to be great for your accuracy gear. Some that are a little bit less obvious, of course, the regeneration gear heals by 15% of your champion's max HP every turn. Therefore, HP percentage is going to be great on your regeneration gear anywhere that you can find it, and a piece like this is particularly good. Now, you will also notice that it says heals by 15% every turn, meaning the faster your regeneration set wearers are, the more healing they're going to get, right? The more turns they get, the more they're going to heal. And so HP percentage and speed are absolutely premium on your regeneration gear. And so this is how you got to think about things, man. You do get some wildcard sets every now and again, such as the Relentless set, which can kind of work on anything. You know, there are the likes of Syl of the Drakes is like more of like a supporter, crowd controller, reviver, but she tends to function extremely good in any relentless pieces that give speed and accuracy. But you can also throw relentless gear on damage dealers as well, and so if you have like a particular piece that, for example, has rolled into here double crit rate and attack percentage, this could be the kind of relentless gear that you look to eventually equip on one of your damage dealers that you're going to be using in PvE in longer fights, right? Particularly something like Hydra. Sun Wukong is an example of a fantastic damage dealer style champ. He needs accuracy as well, but he's a fantastic damage dealer style champion that you can take into Hydra, put him in a relentless set, and over the course of a super long fight where there's like hundreds of turns throughout the fight, the amount of extra turns he gets over the course of a longer fight in something like a relentless set with a lot of crit rolls and crit damage rolls and attack percentage rolls is going to be crazy, and it's going to have a big impact on his output. Now, one thing worth noting about artifact gear sets as well is that any kind of artifact gear set, such as the provoke set, which has a chance to place a debuff, right? 30% chance to place a provoke debuff. You've got the stun set, 18% chance to place a stun debuff. There's also the cursed set as well, though I can't see it on screen right now. Any artifact set, the frost set is another example, any set that's applying a debuff as its main effect does not require accuracy rolls at all on that gear in order for that debuff to land. Now, if you're going to put somebody in a provoke set, there's a decent chance that they need accuracy in their build anyway, but if they don't, just bear in mind that you don't need accuracy to apply an artifact-based debuff. It's just your champion skill-based debuffs. Alright, man, frankly, this account is off to an amazing start. While I'm going to struggle to kind of rebuild any other champs, just given how limited our gear options are, I would say to pay special attention to when Dragon's Lair and, well, just any of the dungeon tournaments are popping up, really, especially the dungeon tournaments that have increased drop rates on gear. I think the dragon tournaments are particularly good when they have increased drop rates on speed gear. They're great for the early game, but also in Dragon's Lair, not only do you get the speed, but accuracy gear is honestly great in the early game as well. As long as it hits those accuracy and those speed rolls, you can really fill out and just meet those accuracy caps that you're looking for on certain champions in this game. With the help of these accuracy pieces, man. They're also a 2-set, so they're nice and versatile too. But okay, a much quicker takeover today. Thanks so much, Mr. Pumba, for submitting your account and getting involved in this series. And also thanks so much, man, for using my beginner promo link, man, which you can do as well down below and get involved in this series yourself. All you gotta do is click on that beginner promo link to download Raid, create a new account using that link, and you get your hands on 4 free epic champions and get a priority place in the queue for getting involved in this juicy little takeover series, man. It's been a blast so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Thanks for watching now. I'm going to catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, man.